Hello friends, this is Odds, and this video is going to be a very simple guide aimed at newer and beginner players in Dead by Daylight, or maybe people that haven't played in a very long time. It's going to teach you how to use the basic survivor perks that you have access to when you start playing the game. Now, I have a website where I recommend which characters are best to aim for when you're a newer player. Some of them free, some of them you can unlock with playtime or purchase with money directly. But if you've already seen it, or if you don't want to bother checking it out, I'm going to go through basically everything you need to know as a new player here. Unfortunately, when I play on my main account, as you can see, I have everything unlocked and it's not exactly what it's going to look like for you. So I'm going to play on a second account just to show you what it normally looks like. When you play on a new account, most of your characters are going to be completely locked. You have to purchase them or unlock them. And at the beginning, you're only going to have access to a few characters. If you do the in-game tutorial, which you definitely should, you also unlock David King. Now, you should have a few blood points. If you go to the store, sometimes you have the ability to claim a free gift, which can also give you blood points. So we're going to do that, right? We're going to see if there's any codes, anything like that. And now we'll have a bunch of blood points to spend. The best character to begin on, in my opinion, is Meg. At first, you're only going to have one perk slot. You want to go here on the blood whip and level up a few times. I've already done it off screen. I leveled to level 28, which you might be able to do without any help. And this is going to unlock perk slots. Now we can equip perks. Meg has 3 perks that come by default. Sprint Burst, which gives you a bit of speed. Adrenaline, which heals you at the end of the game and also gives you speed. And Quick and Quiet, which muffles some of your sounds. If you level up, you're also going to encounter other common perks. In my level up, I managed to get Deja Vu, which shows you the auto of gens. Super good for beginners. Also makes them a little bit faster. And it's also never a bad idea to bring on a medkit. If you bring a medkit, you can heal yourself one time. You can put on some add-ons to make it faster, but we're going to go without it. Let me show you what it's like when you load into a game with this build and how exactly we can use this perk to some nice effect. Okay, so as you can see, when you play against a killer for the first time or the second time, you will be warned what killer it is in the loading screen. Pay attention to this, and if you're playing with friends, maybe it's now a good time to ask them on Discord, hey, what does the spirit do? Is there anything I should know? And maybe they give you some gifts, they walk you through. It's really nice to play this game with friends. Playing solo, especially as a beginner, can be a little bit rough. Now, the most important perk on Meg, the one that we need to talk about first, is Sprint Burst. This is an exhaustion perk that goes on cooldown for a while, and it activates when you run, which means that you will activate it accidentally if you start running. The best idea is at the start of the game, look around yourself. You see a gen that's available. You can go and do it. Oh, what's this? The gen is blocked? No problem. I'm just going to run elsewhere. One mistake that a lot of players do is they think that Sprint Burst is this sacred, holy perk that they need to keep and save forever. And they walk everywhere. This is a massive waste of time. Don't do this. If you have a gen next to you and you want to walk a little, that's fine. If you want to save... Ooh, this is tricky. We have a teammate being chased right here. We could try to work on this gen. Hold up. I think the spirit could be tricking us. No, she's on us. The killer has a perk that, as you can see, blocks some of the gens, but one of them is not blocked. And even though we have a red bar, we're actually doing this gen a little bit faster than usual because our perk Deja Vu is highlighting 3 gens. One of the gens is this one, then that one, then that one. This perk highlights the 3 closest generators to each other. And what that means is that if you complete one of them, the remaining generators are always going to be a little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further. Don't freak out. Whenever a survivor gets hooked, sometimes the gens explode. That is a perk from Killer that slows down gens. And we don't need to... We haven't missed a skill check. This killer has... Ooh, I got my Sprint Burst back. Perfect timing. I'm actually just going to hold forward. This is a very fast killer. I don't know if she's onto us. She seems like she might be. Okay, off we go. She's on our teammate. We can tell if we look at the HUD. She's also going back to the hook. So this could be a bit of a risky rescue. We don't want to rush it. She's riding back to us. We're going to start walking. The spirit becomes invisible, but you can kind of hear where she is. Okay, our teammate got rescued. And sometimes when a teammate gets rescued, the killer decides, you know what, I'm just going to chase them. And they got hit really quickly. Because we see that they have a yellow bar, that means that they got hit so early that the game prevents them from going down. They're in deep wound. The killer is very likely going to try to go for this poor girl. We're going to try to help. We're going to see if we can... Yeah, she's going to use her power. That's really unlucky. We're going to wait nearby because there's actually a pallet. Oh, I'm so sorry. Nia could go down here. Okay, I'm gonna run. She doesn't want to pick up because she's under a pallet. I'm gonna wait here a sec. Okay. Yeah, Feng Min is under a pallet. I'm looking at the hut. I see that she's almost recovered, 75%. Okay, this is a good time. Our other friend went down. We're gonna pick her up. And if she runs, this is a great time to stun the killer and make sure that she makes distance. It's very likely that the killer is gonna go for... Oh, she's actually coming for us. That's nice. She thought we were under that pallet. We were not. She's picking up our friend. That's a bit unfortunate. We can't really help her. I'm gonna check my exhaustion and see that I am about 10 seconds, right? So this is pretty good. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait until I'm 99%. And right now, as you can see, my exhaustion is like 1 millisecond off. So I can run around. And if the killer comes, I can stop walking and get it back. This is what you call 99 in the sprint burst. Okay, now my exhaustion is completely gone, as you can see. It's no longer there. Oh, no. That girl went down. Okay, I think I need to use it. I think I need to use it. Looking at the state of this, it seems to me like our friend Hattie is gonna get this. Yeah, you need to run. You really need to run. Our friend Hattie's gonna pop that generator. We're still at 5 generators, which is a little rough. And... oh my god, what is she doing? And she's coming to kick that gen. She has a perk that makes it do more damage, I think. So, unfortunately, don't have great progress here. I think unhooking Feng Min there was a mistake, because the killer came right back to the hook, and now she's tunneling the Feng Min. Tunneling is what we call... that you really shouldn't have done that. You really should have just kept running. I can try to go down for her, but the spirit can go right through you. So you cannot really body block against this girl because she has no collision. We're now in a pretty tough spot, okay? The nice thing is that the person that was dead on hook, which means that the next hook would kill them, is far away and safe. Hopefully she heals, she's healing herself, and she hides for the rest of the game, plays it a little bit easy. Right? And I went on the hook, but I'm not dead, so this is maybe okay. It's maybe now a good time to talk about the other perk from Meg, Quick and Quiet. Quick and Quiet makes any rush action silent. So going in or out of a locker, vaulting a pallet or a window, that normally makes a noise that the killer can hear from very, very far and even get a notification. This will mute that noise one time. So if you go in a locker and come out the first time you go in, unless you wait for the 20-second timer, you will be silent. This is really good against the spirit. It's a really, really nice perk to have against spirit. I think... oh, thank you so much. She has a perk to heal me, and it looks like she's doing it from a distance. It's quite funny. Yeah, Feng Min, she's dead on hook. She definitely wants to just hide a little bit. You can see that... yeah, no. Don't worry about getting this heal. I think we should leave, guys. I think you should leave. Maybe I can bait her, pretend to hide. No, I wanted to pretend that I'm like playing super stealthy to see if she will chase me, and then I can use my sprint burst. But yeah, she's probably looking for Feng. Nice, she found Hattie, which is the person that hasn't been hooked yet. Normally speaking, the people that have 0 hooks want to take aggression from the killer and take their time away. The people that have 1 hook like me, they need to be a bit careful, but I probably should take the chase if possible. And the people that are dead on hook, like Mia and Feng Min, they want to be super, super careful because the next time they're found, they're dead. They're doing a gen together, and as you can see, this perk is really, really cruel. There's a reason people run this perk so often. This gen has been hit like 4 times, and my teammates get found right away, so they're probably gonna die really quickly. We're not gonna freak out too much. I'm gonna try to stay on this gen for a little bit, see if we can complete it. Okay, we managed to pop this gen, and now we're at a point where almost... oh, there's music. Almost everyone is dead on hook. I would love to take a chase, see if the killer will commit to me, because anyone else taking the chase is gonna die really quickly. Deja Vu's highlighting this chance. I could try to outdo the damage. This is looking a little difficult. Where is Feng? Can I help her in any way? It's super difficult to take a hit against this killer. I'm just gonna go around in the off chance that she's around here. She's so far away. This is looking like a match that might not get to endgame. It's looking really, really rough. 2 of them are about to go down. In this situation, it's not a bad idea to try to remember if anybody used an offering to spawn the hatch in a particular place. Now, as you can see, there is a hatch here called the Annotated Blueprint that makes the hatch appear in the shack. I remember this because I brought it myself. So this can be your plan B. If you're doing some kind of adept or challenge where you want to escape really, really badly, then you can bring a hatch offering and you guarantee that the killer will have to be very far away. There's no saving this game. We've been so slow on gens. She's gotten so much slowdown. I'm gonna go into a locker, whoop, real quick, and make no noise. Be careful when going into a locker like this. It's true that you don't make a notification, but if you're injured, she can hear you. And if you're injured, there will be blood leading to the locker. And if you run here, she would have scratch marks everywhere. You don't necessarily want to go into lockers for no reason. Sometimes some killers run a perk called barbecue and chili. And if they hook someone really far away, it might be a good idea to go into a locker for like 4 seconds. I'll show you how. Okay, so since I know that the hatch spawns in the shack, I know that that's literally on the opposite end of this map. The shack is right over there. So I could try to go and get the hatch, or if I think about it, I could wait by this exit gate, and when the killer finds the hatch and closes it, I have a really good chance of actually opening it. So that's something I could try. Okay, my teammates are about to all die. Popping this gen honestly doesn't have any benefit to me. It's so obvious, right? I'm gonna hop into a locker real quick. Boop. If the killer has barbecue, it lasts 1, 2, 3, 4, and now I can come out safely. That was quick and quiet, saving me a bit of time. And I'm just gonna wait by these dumpsters. The hatch is gonna spawn over there. We're gonna see how quickly she closes it. Maybe she remembers. I'm gonna wait over here. I'm gonna drop my medkit because I don't need it, and maybe I'll have an easier time stealthing. Yeah, perfect. So if I was injured, this would have been perfect because I'm gonna stop right there. You see how I'm stopping right at the C? This is perfect because what's gonna happen is it doesn't trigger the light, but it still looks like it hasn't been touched at all. We're gonna wait until she comes and checks it. Okay then. Normally, a killer will come by a gate and check and then go to the other. My idea was to get a head start, get this done. Oh, she is here. Okay. I'm gonna have to let go. Oh, she missed. I don't know if she did that on purpose or not, but hey. Yeah, you want to let go if you're healthy, otherwise the killer can grab you. So you let go, then while they attack you and they recover, you finish the last bit. I don't know if she let me go on purpose or if she just made a mistake, but hey, we got pretty lucky there. The spirit has a small terror radius. It's sometimes a little bit hard to tell how close she is. This is a really mean build that she was running. Some of the best perks, some of the best add-ons. GG's. If you don't want to play with Meg, or you've already played as her a bunch and you want to try other characters, there are 2 other options that are really, really good as well. The first one is Dwight. Dwight has some super simple perks that if you unlock 3 slots, you can immediately equip. The first one is Bond, shows you the aura of your teammates around you on a very big range, especially at level 3. This helps you find people to heal, people to save, people to avoid if they're being chased by the killer. You can figure out real quickly what's going on. Super good info perk. Then you have Prove Thyself. Normally, when multiple survivors are working on the same generator, there is a debuff that makes them less efficient. This perk counters that. It makes you a little bit more efficient doing gens together. So that's pretty nice, especially in the last few gens or the first one. Leader also buffs your teammates, giving them a bit of a speed boost when they unhook you, heal you, when they open gates near you. It's a really nice perk. You don't need to think a lot. You just put it on and it's nice. So Dwight is a super simple character. You really can't go wrong with him. Claudette is also really, really good for beginners. She has a perk that shows you the auto of anyone injured. This is great to find someone that you want to heal or someone that's being chased, so you know more or less where the killer could be. It's really nice as well if they're injured to then heal them with botany knowledge. It makes all of your healing a little bit faster, 50% faster at level 3. Super simple, super, super good. And self-care allows you to heal yourself even without a medkit, or if your medkit has already been exhausted and it no longer has any charges. This is a really, really good perk. I would say, though, that please be a little careful with how often you heal. If you see that everyone in the team is in good shape, no one's been hooked, it's a good idea to heal. If you're dead on hook and your teammates are looking really good in shape, it's a great idea to heal if you have a minute. In the end game, when the time is on your side and the killer's looking for you, it's a really good idea to heal. But if in a situation where your teammates are desperately, desperately fighting for their life and it's the last generator, not a good idea to heal. That is a moment where you should just do gens, and if you stay injured a little bit, that's okay. Do prioritize gens when possible. Otherwise, healing yourself with no restrictions is a really, really good thing. So yeah, this is a very, very simple character. So we've already seen a few of the basic perks that anyone can use, but if you see yourself getting a little bit invested in DBD and you think you're going to play for more than a few sessions, I highly recommend buying the Maddening Darkness DLC pack. This has a bunch of characters on both sides with some really amazing perks. One of them is Kate Denson, who has the perk Windows of Opportunity, which is the most popular survivor perk in the game for a very good reason. This perk highlights all of the windows and pallets around the map. If you don't see them, it's because they've been destroyed or they're no longer there. And it is so handy for new players to learn maps. It's honestly good at any level of experience. But it's just one perk. Her other perks are not quite as good. But that being said, there's one mistake that I see a lot of players make with Windows Opportunity that I'm going to try to teach you to avoid. As you can see, this perk is highlighting all of the vaults and windows. There's one pallet over there in front of me, but since this killer is chasing us from that direction, we're obviously not going to run into the killer to that pallet because we would just take a hit, right? So normally what most players would do if they're being chased, this killer's going to chase us right now, they would look, and if they see a pallet in front of them, they would go, oh my god, I need to go to this pallet. Oh my god, I need to go to the pallet. And then they get there early, and then they just wait, and then they just, okay. I mean, if I run now, the killer's going to catch me, so I probably cannot really afford to run away. Oh, this is a 50-50. Oh, I got lucky. Oh, he's going to break it. I'm at the edge of the map. This is basically already a mistake. Even though there was a pallet here, it wasn't the correct play to go for it. If the killer is chasing me from that direction and I have a little bit of leeway, what I should have done instead of going to the first pallet available is to maybe look around me and realize that there's a really strong main building here. And once I take this window, the killer has to follow me or break that breakable wall. And then I can take this other window or go back and vault that and do it all over again. The point is, now this chase can last a long time because I didn't box myself. It's a really good idea to think. This pallet, for example, is also very weak. A pallet that is very weak means that unless you stun the killer, if you get lucky, there you go. I'm already going to get hit here. There's basically nothing I can do. It's 50-50 whether or not I get hit. And eventually, this pallet has such a short amount of tile around it that I'm gonna get hit no matter what. It's kind of like a 50-50. So this kind of pallets, it's okay to go here if you're absolutely desperate, but you shouldn't run there and expect to be safe. On the other hand, we have pallets that are very safe, like Shack pallet. For example, if I'm being tunneled or something and I want to extend this chase, I will drop this right away. Don't even think about preserving it. It's completely fine to drop pallets if it keeps you alive. If this pallet comes down, the killer can't really go around it, so obviously they have to break it, and during that time, you make distance. There's also pallets that are a little bit in between. This pallet, for example, here is very strong. But if you make a bit of a mistake, it's not strong enough that it's going to survive a mind game, right? So here, for example, if I lose the killer for a second and I'm like, oh, where's he coming? I could take a hit there, for example. So these pallets, you need to be a bit smart. And one mistake that you can also make with this perk is to not see that which is not highlighted. So for example, right here, I see a little window and I might run into it thinking it's a strong window. And then you don't realize that the space around it is null. This is a garbage window. Unless I had some perk to make this vault do some kind of effect, and we'll get to that. This is a terrible window. If I bring the killer here, it would be because I'm completely desperate and I'm trying to win some mind games, but I'm gonna get hit here eventually no matter what, right? This pallet right here is also an example of something that you can't just look at the pallet itself. Because right now, if I see this pallet highlighted and I run here and I just wait at this pallet's really bad. If I drop it, the killer's gonna walk around it. If I try to guess where the killer's gonna come from, I have no idea. Look, I'm out of the hit there. If the killer has a little bit of ping and I don't react with perfect precision, this pallet is completely unplayable by itself, right? And there is no other windows or anything around it. But what you might not realize with this perk is that sometimes a pallet doesn't need to be played on its own. This pallet, even though it's really weak on itself, always has this little rock around here, and if I get chased around the rock, I can actually extend the loop a little bit, and oh, okay, killer changing direction, and look, now I'm lasting a little bit more than just a few seconds, and there you go, and we got the stun. So now we went from a pallet that was pretty much a guaranteed hit to a pallet that bought me a few seconds and even got me a stun, and during that stun, maybe I can run something else, maybe I can pretend to run that way and then go back, make it to another pallet. So in summary, don't go to pallets that are obviously terrible just because they're highlighted. Don't go to windows that are obviously terrible just because they're highlighted, unless you're in absolute desperation mode. If all of my teammates are doing gens around the map and I want to take the killer to an edge of the map and just die in the edge of the map, it's okay. but this should never be your first option. An even better character is Feng. Feng comes with 3 amazing perks for beginners. Now, if you can eventually unlock and also use Windows Opportunity on her, perfect. But if not, you start with 3 really, really good perks. Technician makes it a little bit harder for killers to hear you on gens, and if you miss a skill check, you don't notify the killer. It's nice if you're still struggling to get skill checks, but you probably won't need it for very long. Lithe is an amazingly versatile exhaustion perk that gives you mobility on the spot. We saw it used in previous games, and Alert shows you where the killer is whenever they do a break action. Way more useful than you would think. Now, obviously, we are missing a little bit of information from our teammates, so getting bombed from Dwight or empathy from Claudette would be amazing. But lucky me, I actually have Kindred in one of my blood webs, so I'm definitely gonna buy Kindred. And I'm going to equip it on her right now. And since I'm pretty comfortable with skill checks, I'm going to switch out Technician for Will Make It, which is going to let me heal other people faster when I unhook them. I will know when to unhook them because I have Kindred. And as always, if we don't know what to bringing a medkit is always safe. If you have add-ons to make the heal a little bit faster or more convenient, that's great. But I'm going to assume that you don't have any add-ons, so we're just going to take them off. As usual, you always want to bring an offering to get more blood points. That's always safe to do. More blood points mean more levels means more perks, and that means you just round up your character a little bit better. Plus, if we have Will Make It level 2, that will make it a little bit more consistent. All right, let's see what match is in store for us. Okay, this map is a lot more complicated than some of the outdoor ones. Now, one thing that's pretty safe to do at the start, if you see one of these silver cases. This is not a normal chest, this is a special chest that is unique only to the Nemesis or to Wesker. Because it is a first aid spray, we know it's Wesker. If it was a vaccine, that would mean that it is... Oh! It seems the killer broke a breakable wall and Alert let us know where he is. If I didn't know that it was Wesker, well, now I would know. There is often a generator. Oh, there's one right there. I'm gonna let Steve use it, but I'm gonna keep running. It seems like he was going in a clockwise sort of way, so let's assume he keeps going that way and see if we find another generator. We're on the 2nd floor, and do you see this little periodic table? This is the chemistry room. The chemistry room almost always has a generator. It's pretty rare, but sometimes it doesn't. Most of the times it does though, so you can always run here. Now, this room only has 1 entrance, and the only other exit is that hole right there. So we need to be a little bit careful. It's very possible that if the killer comes here, we would be forced to use that pallet and it could be a little bit uncomfortable. But we see that we have a really good start. Our teammate has taken the chase. She's injured, unfortunately. She just goes down. Let's look around to see where that will happen. And we see that all of the generators... Ooh, she did not get picked up. There she is. All of the generators on screen are different progresses, which means we're all on different generators. If you're on the most progress generator, you might want to let go for a minute because there are some perks that can block. Like this. This is a different one. Now, in this situation, it's very tempting to go for the rescue, but I don't. This is Grim Embrace. This only lasts 10 seconds. I already see that my teammate is going for the rescue. I already see that Wesker is nowhere near because Kindred doesn't show him. So I just sit there the 10 seconds, don't panic, and get back on my generator. If I don't do this, if I don't get back on my generator, that means that there will be nothing, no progress being done for such a long time. So the right call is to go for this generator. Importantly, I need to remember where everybody else was, right? Steve number 1 was 2nd floor over there, so his gen is over there. And Steve number 2, his gen was over there. So we're going to try to take over their gen as soon as possible. We also see that the Kate removed the infection with a spray. That's good. The infection makes you insta-downable from his power and makes you slow down. It's pretty slow, but we want to remove it. We see that the killer is really far away from us, bottom floor. We can finish this gen extremely comfortably. No problem whatsoever. And I'm just going to leave that spray there if anybody needs it, I guess. I could take it with me if I wanted to. So whenever you pop a gen, it is generally a really good idea to try to remember where people were on their other gens. I'm pretty sure their gen was here. I don't remember if it's 1st floor or 2nd floor. We're going to listen. If this Steve was dead on hook, since I'm healthy, I could also take a hit for them, but... It was here. We found it. The heartbeat is really loud, but I don't see him. Which means that I guess he's on the other floor. And now we have 2 gens done and 2 gens being progress. We're doing really, really good. Mind you, we haven't entered chase. We haven't healed anybody. The only thing we've done so far is use Kindred to know where everybody is and what to do. Now, while you are on a gen, it's very important that you don't waste the time just looking at a wall or anything. You want to look around for pallets. This pallet here has been used. I cannot use it, but there is a window there, and I have Lithe. Lithe gives me a speed boost if I vault a window fast or if I vault a pallet that's dropped fast. Now, I'm going to change positions here, just in case he seems to be coming my way. He does not. He's committing... Oh my god, so we're not on 3 different gens. You can see that the Garnet and Kurabiye are on the same generator, just based on the progress. And, oh, they're hitting some mad skill checks. Wow, that's very impressive. I don't know how they did that. And if I really, really wanted to, I could start another gen right now. I'm gonna, since I see the killer's aura... He's going second floor. Okay, this would be a really good time to patch her up. No, you want me to go for the rescue? You're comfortable being injured? Okay, we trust our teammate. I think it would have been a good idea to heal her, but it's completely fine if we don't. Now, this person's not dead on hook or anything, so if I unhook them, it's not like they're immediately going to die. So I'm gonna go for the unhook. I have will make it, so it's best if I unhook myself, because now for the next 30 seconds, I heal twice as fast. I do have a perk on killer that pretty much undoes that. It's called leverage, but it doesn't matter. Because there's 2 of us, so leverage makes me slower at healing that person, but it generally doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all, because we have 2 of them, and my perk basically counter his perk, so that's perfect. And you can see that he's using... Oh, can you see me, Wesker? I would love to make some noise. Hold up. And... Oh, our killer wasn't too happy about that. Okay, so that game was a pretty good example of how to use Kindred to know what to do, but we didn't get chased very much, and we didn't use Alert in a very aggressive way. We also didn't really use Lithe, so I'm going to show you some do's and don'ts on how to use this perk. This is a friendly killer that is sitting on a call with us right now, and they're going to chase us to show some of the things. Now, Lithe, if I vault a window, will give me a massive speed boost, but say that I don't want to do it. You can just slow vault, and you keep it, so you don't need to waste it. If you need to go through a window outside of chase, or maybe even in chase, but you're very, very confident that the killer's not catching up and you want to save it up, just do a slow vault and Lithe will not trigger. That's important to remember. Now, another important thing is that if you take a vault from a window that has some kind of height, like this one right here, it's not going to be very useful. Let's assume that the killer is chasing after me, right? And the killer is going to come up this ramp, and I'm going to use my otherwise really good perk to vault this window. But look, there's a gap right here, so the killer will just drop down from there, right? Let's see how much distance I do with Lithe. All right, Mr. Killer, come chase us. All right, let's see how good Lithe is. Oh my god, damn. In this sort of situation where you're on a second floor, a much better perk to have is Balanced Landing from Nia Carlson. This is a perk that actually wants you to be on a second floor because it activates when you fall from a great distance. Instead of being staggered for a long time, your stagger is very short, and then you get a speed boost that could allow you to go very, very far. Now, one mistake that you can make is to use this too last second. If there's a gen here, yeah, I can work here a long time, but if the killer's already on me, and then I drop here, they could fake it and catch me on the other side, or even if I drop, they could hit me right away, right? So don't not wait until last second. If you notice that the killer is coming to you, try to find another place. I could drop from here, for example, or I could drop from this window. And then when I fall from a great height, bam, I get a speed boost, and then I can go whatever the heck it is that I want to go. This girl also comes with 2 other perks that are not quite as good. That's why I don't recommend her as much, but are still okay. One of them is called Streetwise. It makes it so that your items last a bit longer, so you get a bit more duration on your flashlight, you get a bit more duration on your medkit, a bit more duration on your toolbox. It's not incredible, and it's honestly only really good when you have very beefy items, but it's easy to use. And another perk is Urban Evasion. It makes you crouch and move a little bit faster. You can see that I have 100% extra movement speed. That means it's double. But don't think that this is super fast or anything. This is literally the same speed as if I walk. And as you can see, it's not super fast or anything. Some beginners feel very safe by crouching. So they play the game and then they crouch everywhere. They go like this. And they think, oh, if I can't see the killer, then the killer can't see me. But the killer definitely can see you. Urban Evasion is okay to use if you notice that the killer is around and you don't think they've noticed you. Because when you move like this, you make very little noise. So if the killer's walking, they're not going to hear your footsteps. So it's okay to hide from time to time a little bit. And it's also really good when you're up against a killer like Huntress or Springtap that has a projectile attack. So this killer might try to hit me over this obstacle, right? Like this obstacle right here. And thanks to Urban Evasion, if I see him pull up his hatchet, I'm just gonna crouch. And it's really hard for him to hit me over any kind of like medium chest height obstacle. So if you're playing against Huntress, you just loop normally, and if you notice that they pull up their hatchet, you can crouch. Because when they pull up their hatchet, they're typically a little bit slower, and they're not going to be able to hit you as easily. So that's really how to make the most out of Nia's perks. And she's okay. She's a good character to go for after you've unlocked some of the other ones that I recommend more. But yeah, you might want to maybe do another character before you get to her. She's not bad though. What a beautiful little mannequin. Back to Lithe. So we've learned that taking a big fall will stagger you so long that Lithe doesn't really get to do most of its effect. It's typically better to use it at some point before or after. Now, one thing that Lithe is very, very good at is to traverse dead zones like this one. So here we have the main building of Shelter Woods and Shack, but in between it, there's all of this filler garbage with no actual pallets or windows. If I ever find myself needing to go to Shack, I could use this window. So say, for example, that I identify the situation and I'm working on this generator and I see that the killer is chasing after me. Mr. Killer, would you chase after us, please? This could be a really good time to, instead of walking, take the window and use the Lithe effect to hold forward. Checking behind us every now and then. And I have such a long distance that I can wait around the corner a little bit. Okay, keep running. Keep checking around the corner. Keep checking. I could go inside right now, or if I want to, I can go one more time around and I should be able to drop it last minute. Perfect, just in time. Now, when this killer breaks it, we're gonna see alert, and even if I don't see the killer, I will see the aura. At this point, I could see if he loses me. Oh, but he doesn't. That's completely fine. It would have been better to keep making distance, but it's completely okay. We're gonna wait here until the killer decides to break it. Oh, we see the aura. Perfect. I'm gonna play this very simple just to show you how alert works. Look. Maybe he mind games, he doesn't, perfect. I'm going to drop this pallet one more time. And here's what I'm going to do that's interesting. I'm going to use alert to make him think that I'm going one way. And now he might be completely lost, but this killer is really, really smart and he noticed me. But it doesn't matter because I was already pathing towards the window. So that even in the best case scenario where he finds me right away, a lot of killers would have lost you there. I made it here. And here I can wait and do a fastball. Now, obviously, Shack is a little tricky, but the general idea is that you look behind you. And here you can just do a medium vault. And if I do this one more time, the window will block. But now we're getting to, you know, the basics of playing Shack and other things. And now we will probably take a hit. There's a pallet here, so maybe not. But even if we were to take a hit, we've wasted so much time and we've used our perks to do what they're supposed to do. Give us information, allow us to mind game a little bit and play a bit more accurately and create distance, which against slow killers like Trapper is just perfect. Okay, so if you've been keeping count, there are 3 male characters that we haven't talked about yet that are all free. These characters don't have bad perks. In fact, they have some of the best perks available, but they are a little bit more risky and a little bit harder to use. I recommend that you only go for them a little bit later. Probably don't start with them. Let's begin with Jake. Jake has the perk Saboteur. This allows you to break a hook momentarily, and you see the autos of hooks as well, to save a teammate that is being carried by the killer. It's a little difficult to make use consistently. You can also sabotage with a toolbox. You don't need this perk, but if you want to try it, go for it. Iron Will is his easiest perk to use. You put it on, and at level 3, it makes you completely silent when injured. This allows you to sometimes lose the killer without doing anything special. Just be careful, because if you have an exhaustion perk like Sprint Burst, it deactivates this perk. So you want to use it on its own. You don't want to pair it with other exhaustion perks normally. It's a nice perk that makes you a little bit stealthier. Calm Spirit is also supposed to make you stealthier. You don't set off birds when you walk by them, and you don't scream, which can be quite useful against some killers like Doctor that make you scream all the time. But it has a downside. It makes you do totems, chess, a little bit slower, and it's honestly just not worth the perk slot. I don't recommend it too much if you've got something better. Overall, though, Jake is pretty nice, and unlocking Iron Will on other characters is never a bad idea. We then have Bill. Bill has some really strong perks. The simplest one is Borrowed Time. When you unhook a friend from the hook, they normally have 10 seconds where they can't go down. That's what happened to the Feng Min earlier. You remember that she took a hit and she didn't go down? Well, with this perk, at level 3, it goes from 10 to 20 seconds. This is an amazing perk if you want to help your teammates, and it works at the start, and in the end game, it works all throughout the whole game, unlike some other perks. So if you rescue your friend, who maybe is a little bit newer than you, they have 20 seconds, and even if they take a hit at 19 seconds after the unhook, they will not go down. It's not a bad effect. Although, you don't need this perk. They already have at least 10 seconds without it. So not super important. Left Behind is a perk that you bring maybe when you don't play with friends. You bring this when you're on your own. If your teammates all escape or all die and you're the last person left in the trial, you actually get to see the aura of the hatch. The hatch is that little hole in the ground that spawns when you're on your own. And if you go into it, you can escape last minute, even if the exit gates aren't open. So it's a nice thing to bring if you want to maybe increase your own chances of survival. Unbreakable is possibly the most powerful perk of Bill. Most killers will down you, pick you up, put you on the hook immediately, but as killers become more and more advanced and they know a little bit more what they're doing, sometimes they realize that they can't pick you up. If they down you under a pallet and someone could rescue, they might leave you there. If there's multiple people going down, the killer might try to down everyone and win the game really quickly. With Unbreakable, you can pick yourself up one time without anyone coming to help you. And also you recover faster so that if someone comes to help you, you're ready to be picked up quicker. Pretty nice perk, though obviously you're not going to be slugged and left on the ground for very long in your first few games. So it's not super necessary. Something that you might want to bring on a little bit later. Now, David, I need to warn you, has a perk that you want to avoid. It's called No Mither. This perk makes you injured permanently for the whole game. There's some quirky upsides, but that's just a massive downside. It's basically hard mode. So unless you're going for some kind of challenge, like the Adept achievement, I recommend you never run it. His other perk, Dead Hard, makes you able to tank a hit if you time the timing of the perk perfectly when the killer is going to hit you. It's a little bit difficult, requires a little bit of timing and understanding when a killer is going to swing. Practice this with a friend if you want. This is something that you probably will want to use at some point when you're a bit more experienced. A little bit hard for beginners though. His simplest and strongest perk is We're Gonna Live Forever. This perk makes you pick up survivors on the ground at double the speed. 100% faster in DBD terms means double the speed. So for example, in the other game that we played with Spirit, you remember when the Feng Min girl was under the pallet? With this perk, I would have picked it up even faster. And not only that, when you pick someone from the ground, which with this perk only takes 8 seconds or less, they also get a borrowed time effect. They don't go down if they get hit for 10 seconds when it's maximum, when it's the tier 3. So that's really good to prevent a teammate that's on the ground from immediately going down again. So it's a really nice perk, probably the strongest one that he's got. These characters, honestly, are still decent, but you probably want to go to them after the ones that we talked about earlier. And that leaves the big elephant in the room. What about all of the other characters? Well, good for you. Most characters have perks that are not super necessary for gameplay. What you've seen in this early characters is more than enough to get you going for a long time. Hopefully, with time, you will earn this currency named Iridescent Shards, and you can buy almost every chapter except the licensed ones without actually spending money if you want, and maybe find some perks that fit your own personal playstyle. I think that's the most fun thing to do in this game. It's not necessarily to run the strongest perks, but run the ones that you find fun, that actually suit what you like to be doing. You like to be a healer, get perks that do that. You like to run after the killer and harass them, have some perks that synergize with that playstyle. I hope that you don't find DBD too overwhelming. This is a game with so many characters now, and new ones are being added every 3 months. So start simple and don't feel that you're missing out. These starting perks that we talked about are all really excellent, and you can get really far just with that. Have a lot of fun. See you in the next one.